Yo guys, what is going on? Vice here. Today I'll be making a little quick guide on how to make a UI. Basically how you get these icons set up and how I would recommend to set them up at least, you know. You don't have to do it the exact way like I do it. I'll just give you like a little rundown on what's important and what you should keep in mind when you make this UI. If you didn't know how to change your UI, you just click escape and you press on this button which says edit UI. Makes a lot of sense, I think. Then you'll get this menu right here. For you, there will be nothing here basically. Let's see if okay, that's a different UI, but basically you won't have anything set up yet. Okay. I'll reset this. And this is how it's gonna look like for you. You're gonna have your HP up here, and your normal hotbar here, and your skills, blah blah blah. And your cooldowns are gonna be here. You have two chats, and it's all fine. If you can play like this, go for it. This is strictly a guide for people that want to have a UI. And I'm gonna teach you how to go from this to this, okay? Or this, like I have many different UIs. But basically, oh yeah, I'll just have this one. But I'm gonna keep it reset and I'll show you how to go from here. So when we go into this interface, first thing I like to do is disable chat 5. Don't really need that. And then move everything out of the way that's like not too important, right? Like the display current key input isn't really that important, and the skill guide, we don't really need that. We can just click the eye on it. If you click the eye, and you won't be able to see it in the actual UI. For example, I'll show you right here. You see the chat list here? I click the eye now. Wait, I'll show you how it looks without. Here you can see the chat, and if you click the eye on it, then it'll be gone. So next thing I like to do, I like to activate the custom HP bar. Basically, this removes this HP bar right here. It looks nice and all, but I don't like looking in the top left corner of my screen to see my HP. So I will custom HP bar, and then you will get this HP bar right here. It's much nicer in my opinion, and it's not necessarily prettier because the HP bar here looks nice, but I think you know what I mean. Anyways, the next most important thing is your cooldowns right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn 10 of them on. So we have 1 to 10. And you'll get these buttons right here, okay? How do you customize these buttons? You open your skill book and you go to skill cooldown slot and you open this window, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and reset them all, and I'll explain to you why I have certain buttons and certain cooldowns, okay? So how I like to do it is, wait, I reset everything. How I like to do it is I like to split my UI in two. So I would have one half of the buttons being my cooldowns and my rotation, and I would have the other side of my bars being my utility, my movement. LAN rotation, pretty simple. You just look for the kick first. Where is it? Prime pendulum. And you put it on cooldown 1. And it's gonna appear here. And then we take Sibidium. Then we take Blooming. And then we take the late dance if I find it. Yep, late dance. And then we don't really use this in a rotation, right? But let's just take it like this. These skills are like the main rotation parts. Obviously, you're gonna have like your DP down attacks as well, but that just depends on your class that you play, so it's gonna be different for everyone. But let's just start with this. So when you have all your skills set up, in the order that you want. You can open your UI again. I'm gonna move the skill cooldowns away. And then I like to show the grid. So you have these lines right here, so you can make sure it's like everything is in the middle of your screen. And then you can move it around. So we put it in order right here. There we go. And then we save it. And now you already have like a basic UI, so you can see your rotation. These right here are cooldowns that are like not always up. But for LAN it's important, for example, to know these two are always on cooldown, right? So we can use the hurry, and then we use the normal rotation. And it's pretty much super simple to play from this point, especially when you learn to play in your class. You'll always know what to press. And to make it one step better, you can click here again on the skill cooldown, and you can type here. You can type like the button inputs, for example. You can also adjust your UI so you can see the buttons properly. But yeah, if you have it like this, you just move some of the buttons down. You might have this problem where you like see that your buttons snap, right? You just want to turn off auto align quick slots so you can move around freely. So we're just gonna move it down a little bit. And now you can see the inputs for it. Let me also turn off the sound in case these other players wanna do some shenanigans. Okay, so this is the basic DPS. Obviously, it's different for every class. You might need more buttons, but you'll have enough for sure. So let me go ahead and turn on all the other buttons, and I'll just move them over here. Make sure it's the same height. You can see the lines here. I like to have everything like pretty much same, like same distance. So you can just count like these little squares right here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's the perfect distance from here to here. Okay, so once you have all these other buttons set up as well, you can go ahead and save it as well. And then we go to the cooldown slots. And let's just look for like the utility of LAN, for example, right? So I like to put a fly here, and then my backwards fly. Okay, so now you can see like here I have all my utility, so I know when my movement is up, because obviously if my movement is down, I can't use it. For example, right now, you can see this is on cooldown. So I only have one fly extension. If I try to fly again, it obviously doesn't work. But with just one little like look in the middle of my screen, I can see, okay, right now I can fly 2 times, or right now I can only fly 1 time. Also very important to have your E-buff here, so you don't waste it, because you always want to have your E-buff up when you grind. That is the cooldown management you want to keep in mind. So I have one side being your damage and your rotation, for example, and have the other side being all your movement skills. I have the same principle on other characters like my DK and my Nova and Megu, blah blah blah. It's the same for every class, right? It's just a concept you want to follow. I know some classes have more buttons. That's why you should build a UI that fits to you. For example, if you have a class that has a lot of like a really high rotation, high button rotation, you can put one more row under here, so you have 3 rows, right? I just need 2 rows because I'm a LAN and I don't have the most buttons. Okay, what I like to do next is put my HP bar more in the middle of the screen, so I don't have to look down on my HP. Then I put the stamina bar above, and I like to put the Black Spirit and the PvP right next to it, so it looks kind of like this. The Black Spirit is really nice to have You can also put it like here, for example, so it's easier to see. So you always know when you have your BSR skill up or when you can use your Z buff, right? Then personally, I like to put my mount more up here, more in the corner, because that bar doesn't really matter too much, right? And I like to put my buffs here. And I like to move my chat more downwards and turn off the game tips. It drags so my FPS and it's honestly useless. I also like to turn off the quest logs because they're distracting while I grind. Skill log is also pretty useless if you know how to play the game. Or if you don't want to show people what skills you use. The kill notification doesn't really matter all too much, right? And then the skill cooldowns I like to put under my minimap, but it's preference. I don't really look at my skill cooldowns too much because I have a UI right here, right? Why would I? But yeah, and you're gonna have your buffs up here, and debuff's gonna be right below. You can put them here if you want. It's just preference. And yeah, that is basically how you build your own UI. And let me just show you like my other ones. I'm just gonna save this preset 3 in case this doesn't look too bad, right? It's pretty decent. It's pretty similar to what I have for now because that is the UI I play with. All right, so let me go ahead and delete the text from here because I don't need it. This is what I have, and I'll explain my brain thought behind this real quick. It's the same, like here's my normal rotation, my normal DPS buttons. Here I have my minus DP buttons that I always want to use. And here I have my Fatal Attraction. Why do I have my Fatal Attraction here? It's a 10-second cooldown, so I won't have it up all the time. But I can just see when I have it up and when I can use it and how I can use it in my rotation. And here I have my 2 flies as my LUT. Then here I have my 2 movements, my WF and my S and shift. Then this one, WRB, my Rabam. And I have my ebuff here, so I can always just see, okay, now my ebuff is up, I should use it. And yeah, that's basically what I explained before as well. I just wanted to show how I use it in my personal UI. I fucked this UI up with the sizing, obviously. It's like bugging when you change your resolution sometimes. But it's pretty much the same. Basic rotation, minus DP, your Magnus skill. And then here's also the same, just your movement stuff, you know, ebuff. But yeah, I can go ahead and show it to you as well on like a different class, for example, on my DK. So as you can see on my DK, I have the same UI and I have some important buttons. I use my DK for PvP mostly, so it's set up a little bit differently, but the principle is the same. Here are my big damage buttons, and here is more of the movement, and here are like some important cooldowns I like to keep track of, and my ebuff. And yeah, you can look, like I could obviously show it on every single class, and you get the point, right? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this guide. And honestly, send me some screenshots if you guys make UIs. You can just post the link in the comments. You can also DM me on Discord because I always like seeing new UIs and I always try to like inspire myself from UIs to build new ones. I pretty much change my UI every few months, but I've been pretty happy with this. Also visually, it's pretty appealing to me. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, of course, you know, write it in the comments. I try to reply as many questions as I can, as long as the questions are formed with at least 2 IQ. But yeah, have an amazing day. Peace out.